Hello everyone, welcome back to our group E2. My name is Surya, name 04. What are conditional in English grammar? Sometimes we call them if clauses. They describe the result of something that might happen in the present or future, or might happen but didn't in the past. There are four main kinds of conditional, that is, the zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional. First one is the zero conditional. Zero conditional is used when the result will always happen. For the example, if you heat water to 100 degrees, it boils. The next one is the first conditional. First conditional is conditional that used to talk about things which might happen in the future. For example, if it rains tomorrow, we'll go to the cinema. The next again is the second conditional. Second conditional is used to talk about things in the future that are probably not going to happen. For example, if I had a lot of money, I will travel around the world. The last one is the third conditional. Third conditional used to describe a situation that didn't happen and to imagine the result of the situation. For example, if I had gone to bed early, I would have caught the train. For some exercises, let's classify this sentence to the appropriate type. The first one, I would buy this shoe if they fit. It is the first conditional because I might buy in the future. Number two, if you touch a fire, you get burned. It is the zero conditional because if you touch a fire with bare hand, your hand will always get burned. Number three, if I had her contact, I would invite her. It is the second conditional because the sentence describes I don't have her contact now, so it's impossible to invite her. Number four, if you had switched on the light, you wouldn't have fallen over the chair. It is the third conditional because it describes situation that didn't happen and the result if that happened.
Hello, my name is Bagus Indra Prayoga, and in this video I will explain you about conditional sentence type 0. This conditional sentence is talk about something that is true. A zero conditional sentence is usually talk about something that's scientific, so the condition is 100% true. For the example, if ice melts, it becomes water. Well, it's always true that ice becomes water if it melts, and so we can say that the result is certain. From this sentence, we know that the pattern of this conditional sentence is if plus simple present, comma, simple present. Now, let's do some exercise. Number 1. When you heat ice, it blank blank blank. The answer is melts. Number 2. If they don't get enough water, plants blank blank blank. The answer is die.
Hi, it's me Deva. Now I want to explain about conditional type 1. First, we learn about form of conditional type 1. In a conditional type 1, the tense in the if clause is the simple present, and the tense in the main clause is simple future. Example number 1, if it rains, you will get wet. If it rains is an if clause, and you will get wet is a main clause. Number 2, if Sally is late again, I will be mad. If Sally is late again is an if clause, and I will be mad is a main clause. As in all conditional sentence, the order of the clauses is not fixed, but you may have to adjust pronouns and punctuation marks when changing clause order, but the meaning is the same. Like example number 1, if we change clause order, the sentence will be you will get wet if it rains. And number 2, I will be mad if Sally is late again. The second is function of conditional type 1. In this sentence, the time is the present of future and the condition is real. They refers to a possible condition and its probable result. They are based on fact. They are used to make statement about the real world and about particular situation. We often use such sentence to give warnings. Example, number 1, if I have time, I will finish that letter. Number 2, if you drop that glass, it will break. We can use the models to express the degree of certainty of the result. Example, number 1, if you drop that glass, it might break. And number 2, I might finish that letter if I have time. Let's do the exercise. The direction is complete the conditional sentence type 1 by putting the verbs into the correct form. Number 1, you can see here. The sentence will be, if you send this letter now, she will receive it tomorrow. And number 2, you can see here. Simon will go to London next week if he gets a cheap flight. If you want to more understand about this topic, you can take more exercise. Thank you.
Hello everyone, nice to see you again. I'm Alit, I'm number 045. First of all, I would like to say thank you very much for the chance given to me. Well, before we jump to our next lesson, I have one question for you. Have you ever dreamed of becoming someone like an artist, a billionaire, or you want to be a superhero who flies in the sky? Well, we will discuss this topic in our next lesson. Our next lesson is conditional sentence type 2. This conditional sentence is used to express an unreal or impossible situation in present or future. This conditional sentence tells about your daydreaming because the probability of the situation will occur is close to 0 or is equal to 0 if the situation is impossible to occur. The example of conditional sentence type 2 is, if I had a lot of money, I would buy a sport car. The sentence is constructed of two clauses. The first one is if clause and the second one is main clause. The if clause is if I had a lot of money, and the main clause is I would buy a sport car. The if clause use past tense and the main clause use past future or model in past form such as could, might, should, had to, or would. Because it is just a daydreaming, conditional sentence type 2 has a fact. The fact of if I had a lot of money, I would buy a sport car is I don't have a lot of money, so I won't buy a sport car. The fact of conditional sentence type 2 use simple present tense. There are two structures of conditional sentence type 2. The first one is main clause plus if clause. As an example, I would buy a sport car if I had a lot of money. And the second one is, if you put the if clause in front of the main clause, you have to write a comma between the if clause and the main clause. As an example, if I had a lot of money, comma, I would buy a sport car. Let's look at another example of conditional sentence type 2. The example is, if I were Superman, I could fly in the sky. The fact is, I'm not Superman, so I can't fly in the sky. It is correct and very common to say if I were instead of if I was. So in conditional sentence type 2, the subject I is followed by were. Now let's do some exercise. Question number 1. Complete the sentence by using the words in parentheses. The sentence is I blah 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 a beautiful house if I blah 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 an architect. You can pause the video and answer the question. Well, the answer of this question is I could build a beautiful house if I were an architect. Question number 2. What is the fact of the sentence if I were clever, I would finish my homework at time? Well, the fact of the sentence is I'm not clever, so I won't finish my homework at time. Well, that's all from me. Thank you very much for your attention. The next lesson will be continued by my friends.
Hello everyone, thanks for the chance given to me. My name is Made Juniandika. So today for the grammar class, I want to talk about if conditional type 3. If conditional type 3 is talk about that something didn't happen in the past. For the example is, if I had studied hard, I would have passed the exam. From the sentence, we know the fact is I didn't study hard and I didn't pass the exam. The facts of conditional type 3 use past tense because if conditional type 3 is talk about that something didn't happen in the past, and we also can say that if conditional type 3 is talk about something regret. And now let's we focus with sentence if I had studied hard, I would have passed the exam. From the sentence, we know the pattern of if conditional type 3. The patterns of if conditional type 3 is if plus past perfect tense and it will be followed with past future perfect. If I had studied hard, I had studied hard as the perfect tense, and I would have passed the exam. I would have passed. It is past future perfect. And remember, if we want to know the fact, we must using simple past tense. If we want to make a fact in if conditional type 3. And now I will show you the dialogue that I have made before of using if conditional type 3. Morning Steve. Good morning Carla. Steve, have you called Alexa to borrow some novel last night? Oh no. What's up? She didn't bring them this morning. Why? Sorry, it is my fault. If I had called her last night, she would have brought the novel today. It is okay, Steve. I will tell her about it if I meet her in the English class today. So from the dialogue, we can find the if conditional type 3. If conditional type 3 from the dialogue is, if I had called her last night, she would have brought the novel. And from the sentence, we know the fact. The fact is, Steve didn't call Alexa last night, so Alexa didn't brought the novel. From then, there are some exercise about if conditional sentence. First is, she blank buy a new car if she blank have enough money. The answer is, she would have bought a new car if she had enough money. The past perfect of the sentence is she had enough money. And the past future perfect is she would have bought a new car. The fact of the sentence is she didn't buy a new car and she didn't have enough money. The second is mom blank cooked delicious meal if she blank know that you would come. The answer is mom would have cooked meal if she had known that you would come. The fact of the sentence is mom didn't cook meals and she didn't know that you would come. So you must remember if conditional sentence type 3 is using present past tense.
Halo, saya Surya dan sini saya akan menjelaskan materi mixed type conditional. Nah, sebelumnya kan sudah dijelaskan beberapa tipe dari if conditional sentence. Ada tipe 0, tipe 1, 2, dan 3. Di mana tipe-tipe tersebut dibedakan karena menjelaskan sebuah peluang bagaimana kalimat dapat terjadi di dunia nyata. Namun, mixed type conditional ini lebih mengarah ke waktu. Jadi, menjelaskan dua buah tindakan berbeda waktu dalam satu kalimat. Contohnya, if I had woken up earlier, I would not miss the bus. Jadi if I had woken up earlier merupakan if clause, jadi sebuah penyebab, dan I would not have missed the bus merupakan akibat. Namun if clause dan main clause memiliki rentang waktu yang berbeda. Dan ingat, bentuk dari mixed type conditional ini bisa kita ubah bentuknya menjadi main clause yang di depan dan if clause yang di belakang. Seperti kalimat tadi, kita bisa mengubahnya menjadi I would not have missed the bus if I had woken up earlier. Ada dua bentuk umum dari mixed conditional. Bentuk pertama yaitu past action yang akan menghasilkan present result. Jadi di sini kita membayangkan tindakan kita di masa lalu yang akan mengakibatkan sebuah kejadian di masa sekarang, di mana kejadian itu tidak akan terjadi karena kita tidak mungkin mengubah masa lalu. Dan if clause di sini kita menggunakan bentuk past perfect dan main clause-nya kita menggunakan bentuk present conditional. Contoh, if you had not taken the class, we would be playing football right now. Dan bentuk kedua ada bentuk present condition yang akan menghasilkan past result. Jadi di sini kita membayangkan apa yang akan terjadi di masa lalu jika kita melakukan suatu tindakan saat ini. Memang agak susah untuk dipikirkan, tapi saran saya itu latihan. Dan biarpun kita menggunakan bentuk present untuk if clause-nya, kita tetap menggunakan bentuk lampau karena dia merupakan sebuah penyebab. Contoh, if he wasn't injured, he would playing in the game. Oke, sekarang mari kita latihan, dan di sini saya akan memberikan beberapa if clause atau klausul penyebab, dan kalian bisa menjawabnya dengan jawaban kalian sendiri sebagai main clause atau klausul akibatnya. Oke, untuk bentuk yang pertama ini adalah if clause-nya dalam bentuk past atau bentuk lampau. Oke, kalimat pertama, if I had won the lottery, silakan dijawab, dan jawaban dari saya adalah if I had won the lottery, I would buying a new house. Oke, untuk kalimat kedua, if he had not quit his job, silakan jawab, dan jawaban dari saya adalah if he had not quit his job, he would not struggling right now. Oke, dan untuk bentuk yang kedua adalah kita menggunakan bentuk present sebagai if clause-nya. Oke, kalimat pertama, if I were more athletic, silakan jawab, dan jawaban dari saya adalah if I were more athletic, I would have joined the athletic class. Oke, dan kalimat kedua, if I was fluent in English, silakan jawab, dan jawaban dari saya adalah if I was fluent in English, I would not have joined the English class again. Mungkin itu saja dari saya. Sekian, semoga bermanfaat. Terima kasih.